Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mana Cave. My name is Ed.
My name's Travis.
And we are continuing on. We film these two matches at a time. So this is still, if you watch the previous one, which was Basri versus Chandra, then you'll have heard what I said about this is the first time in ages that we've been able to do this. So it's still exciting for me. So for me, I got the excitement, even though it's probably a week later since you've seen it. I'm still very excited to see Travis. Next time we record, it's just going to be the same old, same old. I'm not even going to acknowledge that he's in the room with me. But for now, Travis, I'm really happy you're here. Thank you again for coming out. This is great. Absolutely great. Travis?
Yes, sir.
What are we doing today?
We are continuing on with the fourth season, season 4, of the Planeswalkers Challenge featuring the 2021 core Planeswalker Decks.
Yes. M21.
M21.
Or Core Set 2021. I was screwing that up the entire last match. I was mixing them. I was saying M2021 or Core Set 21, and it's not whatever. Anyways,
the symbol still has an M on it.
It does. It does. Well, it is M21 or Core Set 2021. The Planeswalker Deck Showdown, 4th season. This is the last first round match, and it is going to be against
Garruk
and Liliana. So the mono green versus the mono black. I thought this would be a pretty good pairing. Both.
Yeah, you would, because you have removal spells.
Well, both as far as like the decks go, because I think they work well against each other, but also because of the whole history between Garruk and Liliana. I thought that was a good sort of pairing.
Yeah, if you know your lore.
Yeah, see?
I don't.
And I'm sure a lot of people do out there. Teferi has gotten a bye, so whoever wins this match is going to face the winner of the Chandra Basari match. If you haven't seen that yet, I'm not going to spoil it right now. And then the winner of that match against those two players, or Planeswalker decks, will face off against Teferi to move to the absolute finals of the 4th season. So, Travis, did you mulligan?
I didn't mulligan. Garruk's deck. So each deck seems to have a very good theme from what I've seen so far. With Liliana's, it's, I think, sacrificing. Everybody's sacrificing, I think.
And like you said, a lot of hard removal as well, too. So.
Yeah. Garruk is obviously green, so it's big creatures. So there was a mechanic in Dragons of Tarkir or Khans Tarkir where it was called Ferocious, I think, where if you have a creature with power 4 or greater.
Yeah.
There was two. There was one that was power 4 or greater, another one was combined power of 8 or greater, I think.
Either that or Fate Reforged was one of the first ones. Ferocious or whatever it was called or something like that.
There's two, and one was that, and then Fate Reforged was the other.
Yeah.
So I can't remember which is which, but I think it might have been Ferocious was power 4 or greater. So basically that's what this deck is. If you have a powerful creature, you can end up drawing a card when you play a card, or if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, something gets Vigilance or Trample or something. Like there's bonuses based on big, beefy, bad creatures, which is right up Green's alley. It's why. And there are some combat tricks in this deck, so I'm pretty excited about playing this deck. And there's a one green rare that it's you gotta spend X and 1 green, and the creature gets +X and fights a creature. I want to see that card so bad. That, because Commander, to me, that one seems like it's actually like a pump spell. I think that fits with Commander.
It's definitely seems like an interesting card. It's definitely a decent card to see in a Planeswalker deck.
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned that with the last ones, but there is, I think, one good rare beyond the tutor cards that have just one copy of one rare that have gone into, I think, each of the decks.
Yeah, it's weird as well too. Basri had a card in his deck which had protection for multicolored, which obviously is not going to help against the other M21 Planeswalker decks, but it is going to help if he's able to advance to the finals himself. So, I like Garruk's deck because it requires, a lot of cards require, like you said, a power of 4 or greater with the creature, but there's several creatures in there which have a rather low casting cost, but a power of 4. So it's not going to be as difficult to activate as it might be with other creatures that may cost more in order to get that 4 power.
Yeah.
Liliana's, as we sort of mentioned before, sacrificing, hard removal, black mana doing the things that it does best. So, and once again, there's also sort of the lore aspect of this matchup. Now, you did not mulligan.
No. Did you? Sorry, I didn't.
I did mulligan, yes.
I like my hand so much I didn't even notice what you did.
Our hands were being shown while we've been talking, but we are going to go ahead and we are going to roll to see who goes first.
You're not rolling purple dice?
6 again.
9.
So this is twice I've lost the die roll. So I get to go second.
Yes.
Lucky me. And Travis, that means that you get to go first while I adjust my hat and my hair.
I will pick a forest and pass. It's the plain forest. Okay. No gremlins on turn 1. No mana dorks, unfortunately.
I will draw, and I will play a swamp.
Whoa,
not just any swamp, though, but the special-looking swamp. The one single land card. Yeah, there you go. You soak it in. Can you see it? It's all blending in with the purple of the motif of the table here. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I like these. I wish they had done them for all the lands in here, but, why would they? I'm also going to bring my land back here. I'm not going to keep it up front because that's crazy. I was also wrong because there was a card, which I mentioned in the last match, that I was going to bring up if I were to see it. And I thought it was in the green deck. It's not. It's in this deck. And I can't wait to talk about it. Anyways. Oh, wait.
Very much.
Wait. I got so excited about something that had nothing to do too much later on. I'm actually going to tap 1 black, and I'm going to start off with something. I'm going to cast the Grim Physician. It's a 1/1 zombie. When Grim Physician dies, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 to the end of turn. So I'm glad I remembered to cast that and check my hand first before I went ahead and passed the turn to you.
It's a shambling goblin, but a zombie? No, the shambling goblin was a goblin zombie, I think. This is just a zombie.
Yeah. This is just straight zombie.
Yeah. So you only get 1 potential synergy with certain decks.
This is a Grim Physician.
Yeah.
I'll pass the turn to you.
I'll go back to my drawing. And I was going to say, we don't podcast much, or ever. But it'd be something I'd be interested in talking to you about is art and Magic and how the cards look now. Are you like a fan of it? This is a good thing to bring it at the middle of a game, huh? At the beginning of it.
Well,
we haven't really talked about it much, ironically.
We can definitely talk about that, and we can. Why don't we start a podcast, Travis? You and I. We can, because that's something we can even do on Discord if we really want to. We're busy. Well, you're busy people. But there's definitely something we can talk about. I do like the artwork in most Magic cards. I mean, obviously someone's going to favor certain artists over others and stuff. But I don't think, other than the draw of nostalgia, I don't think there's a whole lot of comparison with the artwork from, back in the beginning and now. Anyways, enough about that.
I did this myself.
It's okay.
I'll drop my second forest. I will tap 2. Again, it's not a short one-answer question or anything. I'm going to play a Horny Beetle. It is a Nessian Horn Beetle. It is a 2/2 insect. At the beginning of combat on my turn, if I control another creature with power 4 or greater, I put a +1 counter on the Nessian Horn Beetle. So there, we talked about it earlier, the power 4 or greater thing. Otherwise, at this point, it is a 2/2 with no downside and no haste. So I pass to you.
Pass to me. Okay. Draw. I will play a swamp.
He's like, geez, if I attack into that thing, he blocks, it dies. I put a -1 counter on it, I give it -1.
Yeah, I'm going to move to combat. You talked me into it. I'm going to move to combat. I'm going to swing in with the Grim Physician.
I will block nothing, sir. I will block none of your wackiness.
Okay, so you will take 1.
Down to 19.
And I will pass the turn now to you.
Keep your smelly zombie over there. Untap. Draw. Play another forest. What do you do? Oh, you're that one. What is the best thing to do in this scenario? I think the best thing to do in this scenario is tap 2 for another Nessian Horn Beetle.
Nice.
And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to pass 2. I'm not going to combat.
Oh, okay. On your end step, I'm going to tap for 2, and I'm going to flash out the Masked Blackguard. It is a 2/1 human rogue. It's got flash, which is the only reason why I was able to cast it. And I can pay 2 into black, and it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. There we go. And now I will untap and take my turn. Righty. I'm going to play a swamp. I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in with both.
I'm not blocking.
You're not blocking. Okay.
No shenanigans?
No shenanigans. So you'll be taking 3.
Drop down to 6 from 19.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to tap for 3. And I'm going to cast Liliana's Scrounger. It's a 3/2 human wizard. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature died this turn, I may put a loyalty counter on a Liliana Planeswalker I control. That's my whole turn. I'm going to pass the turn now to you.
Untap. Draw. Forced.
Oh, I'm just going to actually move the Liliana box. I didn't realize it was still there.
Okay. I'm going to tap 4 for the Predatory Worm.
Ooh.
It's a 4/4 with Vigilance, and it gets +2 as long as I control a Garruk Planeswalker. Okay. So I'm going to go to combat.
Okay.
At the beginning of combat on my turn, if I control another creature with power 4 or greater, put a +1 counter on Nessie and Hornbeal. So they're both going to get +1 counters.
Yepers.
Now, if I attack, he's a 3/2, so he's going to trade with at least one of them. Or I can wait another turn. In theory, they become, hopefully if nothing removes them, they become 4/4s. What to do? I am not going to play aggressive. I'm going to try. I mean, I'm leaving myself up for him to get cards and mana, which can lead to big removal, but I am going to just... You know what? No.
I didn't say a word.
No.
I didn't say a word, but I knew. I could see it in your eyes.
No.
You're playing green, but your eyes are burning red.
They are.
I will actually put Liliana Scrounger in front of one of them.
Okay.
So these will trade. I will take 3, though, and that puts me down to 17.
Then I pass to you.
Pass to me. Okay. I am going to... That's just going to keep on getting bigger and bigger. I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Don't like that. Untap. And draw. Okay. I'm going to play a forest. I'm going to tap 3 to play an enchantment called Garruk's Uprising. So when it enters the battlefield, if I control a creature with 4 or greater, I draw a card.
Okay.
So no removal before that hits the battlefield?
Oh, wait. So when...
Well, there's more to read, but I just want to... I want my
card
card quickly.
Uprising enters the battlefield. If you control... Okay, yeah, okay.
There are other abilities that just want that card. That's why I went to the battlefield. There's other stuff, but... so the second thing is creatures I control have trample, and the third thing for this 3-mana uncommon enchantment is whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under my control, draw a card.
Okay, see, that's what I was thinking, because I missed the first part of that when I was looking over that deck before. So you do immediately get to draw a card, though.
If I played that earlier, I wouldn't have gotten the enter the battlefield because he wouldn't have been entered yet. So
yes, yeah.
Kind of thing. So I draw the card off that. Okay. 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 So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap 2.
Okay.
To play an instant early called Ram Through. Target creature I control deals damage equal to its power to target creature I don't control. If the creature I control has trample, excess damage dealt to that creature's controller instead. So they have trample because of Garruk's Uprising. I am targeting my Predatory Worm.
Okay, and you're targeting...
He's fighting that guy.
Okay, so anything beyond 1, essentially, is going to spill over to me, correct?
Correct.
Okay, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to tap for 2, and I'm going to cast an instant Unlikely Aid. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains indestructible until the end of turn. So I am going to put that onto the Masked Blackguard. Now, it's not going to change anything.
No.
When it comes to the spillover damage. Yeah. But I am still going to take 3 from that. Correct?
Because he gets +2/+0. +2/+0.
+2/+0. So yeah. So I'm going to still take 3. So I'm down to 14. This is still going to live because it doesn't have indestructible.
Okay. So it does obviously change everything.
And this is now a 4/1 indestructible creature.
Yeah. So I'm going to combat.
Okay.
Which is super annoying. So I will get the counter.
Okay.
So now he can still trade with stuff, and I don't want to trade. So unfortunately, I got to pass.
Okay.
At least that trample thing was pretty handy, which is why I kind of like that card because it's pretty handy.
Alrighty. So my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play a swamp. I'm going to pass the turn to you.
This removal's just driving me nuts. I'm guessing there's more than one copy of that card in that deck. Untap. Draw. Play another Forest. So even if there's no combat tricks, full blocking, double block will be enough to kill that thing with the -1 that thing will get. At that stage, anyway.
You will still be able to spill through 2 damage, though.
Yes. All right. Favor Fortune's the Bold or something. I'm going to combat.
Okay.
So the combat trigger happens. He becomes a 5/5. And he has Vigilance. So we are going in.
Both of them are going in.
Yes.
Okay. I will put both of them in front of that one.
Okay. Okay. We'll go to damage.
So go to damage. So this is taking 3 damage. These are both going to die, and I take 2 spillover damage from that, and an additional 5 damage from that. So I'm taking 7 damage in total, correct?
Correct.
So I'm down to 7.
My Vigilant Worm dies.
It dies once this hits the graveyard, and then puts an additional -1/-1, which is enough to kill it. Okay.
Okay. Then I'm going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Ornery Dilophosaur. And I nailed the pronunciation. Because I've seen Jurassic Park like 100 times, so I know what Dilophosaur is. It is a 2/2 dinosaur with Death Touch. When it attacks, if I control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +2/+2 to the end of turn. I'm not huge in that card. I mean, a 2/2 with Death Touch is nice, but 4 mana, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Then I will tap 2 for the Elysian Caryatid. Probably did not nail that one. It is a 1/1 plant for 2 mana, and I can tap it to add 1 mana of any color to my mana. Any color. Just says any color. 1 mana of any color. If I control a creature with power 4 or greater, I add 2 mana of any 1 color instead. So, I got mana, potentially. Neither of those creatures were power 4 or greater, so they did not trigger Garruk Uprising, but that does make my Caryatid a lovely 1/1 with trample.
In response to that, I mean, we can do it on the end step. We'll do it now. Tap 3, and I'm going to flash out Liliana's Standard Bearer. It's a 3/1 zombie knight with flash, which is why I'm able to cast it now. When it enters the battlefield, draw X cards, where X is the number of creatures that died under your control this turn. So that would be 2, so I do get to draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
So, now, still your turn?
Yeah.
My turn now?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to draw. Interesting. I'm going to play Swamp. Oh.
I miss my Vigilant Worm. See, it was tough calling that early block because I knew I was going to get that worm out, and I knew that those Horn Beetles were going to both build, but giving people too many turns in the mana cave at least has definitely come back to bite me in the butt. So
I'm going to pass the turn out to you.
Okay. Untap. I'm going to draw. Has to be pre-combat. The beginning of combat. So that won't trigger that.
What? Sorry, what is it? What's the trigger?
So when he attacks, he gets +2/+2, so then he becomes a 4/4.
Oh, yeah, when he attacks. Okay.
Yeah, so his trigger happens at the beginning of
now,
combat.
is this whenever another creature, or is it just if you have a creature?
No, it's another creature. If you control another creature.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, because
So
that
he's-
should count for itself, but it doesn't. Okay, so that's good to know. But it does count for that.
What does count? Yes.
Yes.
He counts for him.
He
but
counts
he
for
can't
that,
count
but
for
he
him.
can't count for himself. Okay. I
Help each other out, guys. Come on. Can't put it all on my Horn Beetle. I'm going to go to combat.
Okay.
Swing with the team.
Okay.
So now he becomes a 4/4 with Death Touch.
Yeah.
He remains a 1/1.
Yep. Righty. I'm going to...
They all have trample.
They all have
1/1 with trample. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think there's nothing really I can do. So I'll do this just because I can do something, and just show what I was thinking of doing until you reminded me that they all have trample now. So if I do this now, which is not normally the time you would do it, if I tap 4 and then flash out the Lurking Deadeye. Lurking Deadeye is a 4/2 human assassin with flash. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn. That would have been great to do after combat, but if I waited after combat, I'd be dead. Thing is, because it's only at 2 toughness, in total, I can absorb 3 damage of the 10 that's coming my way. So that's still 7, no matter how I block. So, damage goes through, and you take the first game. Go green. Garruk won over Liliana. Also, how do you guys say it? Garruk or Garruk?
I want to say I've heard other channels, there's no, exposure I get to Magic is through YouTube.
Yeah.
I say Garruk, but...
Garruk? I'll have to actually hear if it's like... I'm sure like if there's audiobooks that mention him, that would be canon.
You'd like to think that they would get it right.
You would think so, yeah. But yeah, so like, but I will probably keep saying Garruk just so you guys know. I think Travis has been saying Garruk. So we've got all the bases covered, unless it's something completely different. I have lost the first game of this match, but it is best 2 out of 3. So I do have a chance to redeem myself, and I'm going to get to that chance right now. And we're back. Travis.
Yes, sir.
Did you mulligan?
Nope. It was a decent enough hand to keep. You mulliganed.
I mulliganed because, 6 land hand.
Did you really?
Even that. I did get that funky, beautiful purple land, but still not good enough to save that hand. So I am down to 6, which you guys are now seeing, and I lost the last game, so I do get to go first, which is another added bonus. So I am going to start off by playing a swamp, and this time I'm not actually forgetting to cast a creature. I'm really not casting a creature. I'm going to pass turn to you.
I'm going to draw. I'll read that in a second, but first I'm going to play a forest, and then I'm going to pass the top of it down to the right corner by tapping it to play. Are you ready? Y'all ready for this? The Almighty Brushwag is another 1/1 for 1 with trample. But this Brushwag isn't like any other Brushwag you've seen before. One thing, you gotta check with the art, because like the other animals are like just shocked at this thing charging through. They're like, what the heck is that thing? The animals look shocked.
It's like a hairless cat with a bunch of sticks around it.
Yeah, it's Brushwag.
Yeah, there we go.
But it has trample, and I can pay 1 green and 3 of anything, and the Almighty Brushwag gets +3/+3 to end a turn. So it's built-in pump. At not a terrible rate. It's not like it's 4 mana for +1 or something like that. It has trample.
I think every game you played a 1-drop creature.
You've gone into group.
You've talked it like you've given that 1-drop creature a bigger treatment than most rare cards get in this game. So well done.
When you kill it,
well done.
Everyone's gonna like cry at home like not the Brushwag.
Everyone's grown so attached to it that it's like, oh my god, it's like Old Yeller.
Yeah,
old
Brushwag. Well, he's almighty, but he does not have haste, so I will pass to you. Okay. As awesome as he is.
Oh, man. I will play a swamp. And I'm actually going to tap for 2 and cast the Spirit of Malevolence. It's a 2/1 spirit creature, and when it dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and I gain 1 life. So it's a win-win for me. I will pass the turn now to you.
Untap. Draw. Play yet another card like that.
Forest?
Forest. That's what it is. It's a forest. Now... play that. I'm going to pass.
Okay. You're going to pass.
I'm going to pass. Don't know if that was the right call, but right or wrong.
I'm going to play Swamp. I'm going to tap for 3. I'm going to play Liliana's Scrounger, which we saw before. So it's basically a 3/2. It only becomes really important when Liliana's on the battlefield. So I will pass the turn now to you, sir.
Okay. Tap. And I mean, they don't tap, but play that first. I just drew for no reason. Then I'm going to tap out. Ooh. For Garruk's Harbinger. It's a 4/3 beast with hexproof from black.
Of course.
Doesn't have protection from black, but it's hexproof
from black.
Whenever Garruk's Harbinger deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, look at that many cards from the top of your library. I may reveal a creature card or Garruk planeswalker from among them and put that into my hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in random order.
Pretty nice.
He gets as much, fanfare as my Bushwag.
Pretty nice.
No haste there either. Always protection from black. So, pass to.
Pass to
But
me.
at only 3 toughness, you have him on the board, so it's not like it's like, look out.
Okay. I'm going to play a swamp. That only costs 4 to do that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I gotta do this. I'm gonna.
Not my bushwag.
I'm gonna
Not the brushwag.
I'm gonna pay 3, and I'm gonna cast Demonic Embrace. It's an enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+1 and has flying and is a demon in addition to its other types. I may cast Demonic Embrace from my graveyard by paying 3 life and discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. I'm going to put that on the Spirit of Malevolence. So now this is now a 5/2 flying demon spirit creature. I'm then going to move to combat.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing in for 5.
Ouch. So I was up to 20 again. Why do I keep doing this to myself? And I dropped down to 15.
There we go. That's going to be my whole turn. I'm now going to pass it to you.
Dang, malevolent demon. Untap. Draw. Okay. I'm going to play Forest. Did I accidentally pick up a land? No, because you're 1 turn ahead of me. Right.
Yeah.
But then how am... Yes.
Yeah, I'm 1 turn, so I pass it to you, so now you put your 4th land down, yeah.
But you have 5.
No, I have 4. See, this is 3 and then 1.
Oh, okay.
So...
Okay. That makes way much more sense.
Sounded like I was being way more of a dick than I meant to be. I wasn't trying to like... No, see, this is 3.
Let's count again
And
now.
then you take 1, Travis, and you add that to that 3, and what do you get? No, I just meant to show that there's 3 and 1. So,
yeah, no, I get it. Okay. So, what I gotta do here is unfortunately, so that thing's coming out like, what toughness is on that bad boy?
The toughness right now is just 2 toughness. It's 5 power, 2 toughness.
5 power, 2 toughness. Okay. So, what I gotta do is get rid of that thing, because I can't keep blocking. I can't block, period. So, lamentably, I'm gonna have to attempt to do this right now. So I'm gonna tap 2 to cast that ram through again.
Okay.
Target creature I control deals damage equal to its power to target creature I don't control. If the creature you control has trample, excess damage. There's no trample here, so it's just going to deal 4 damage to the demon.
So when this dies, you're going to lose 1 life, and I'm going to gain 1 life. And I can still cast Demonic Embrace from my graveyard by paying 3 life and discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. So I'm going to go up to 21.
Okay. So no damage marked on him because it's not really a fight. It's
damage.
Not.
It's a one-way, like a rabbit. Rabbit bites like that, right? Where it's just a one-way damage, I believe. So
yeah. Now, I'm okay with what's going to happen here because yes, I'm going to go to combat.
Okay. I mean, there's something to be said for keeping this around. But you're then going to get to dig 4 deep. If you do damage to me, you're going to dig 4 deep, right?
And that includes... Because trample would still count, right?
Yeah.
Deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker. Look at that many cards from the top of my library. Reveal a creature or Garruk planeswalker.
Did that give it trample as well, too?
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Okay.
At this point, that did not give it trample.
Okay, so, I mean, part of me still wants to just keep it around. You know what? I'm going to put it in front. I am going to put it in front.
Okay. They're just going to trade.
Damn. Okay, so I can trade. Okay.
Maybe I threw that card away too easily, but, after combat, I'll tap 1 from the bushwag.
Okay.
And pass 2.
Pass to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I gave it away too easy, but I got a funny feeling without trample that wasn't going to be hitting off anytime soon.
I'm going to play a swamp. And I will... pass the turn to you.
All right. Untap. Draw. Play Forest. Go to combat.
Okay.
At this point, they're just 1/1s.
They're just 1/1s? Okay, so I'm just taking 2, so I'm down to 19.
Okay. So after combat, tapping for the Predatory Worm. We saw him before. He's a 4/4 Vigilance, and he gets +2/+2 as long as I control a Garruk Planeswalker.
Okay, on your end step, I'm going to tap for 2, and I'm going to cast Grasp of Darkness. Target creature gets -4/-4 until the end of turn.
Such a good spell.
So there's that.
There's that.
My turn?
I already gave you your turn. I'm not going to re-give it to you.
Jesus. I'm going to play a swamp, and I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Untap. What the heck? I'll play another forest. Yeah, I'm going to tap 3. No, tap 3 for the Wildwood Patrol.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't have to do it that way. Because I was reading something, I didn't realize that one had trample too. I'm going to tap 3 to cast the Pride Malkin. Malakin is a cat. It is a proud cat. There's no denying the pride that cat contains. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1 counter on target creature I control. Not each creature I control. So we'll just say Bushwag.
Okay.
Well, maybe should I choose him because 2 toughness is kind of scary. So I am going to choose the Wildwood Patrol, believe it or not. Because these guys have built-in pump.
Makes sense.
Each creature I control with a +1 counter has trample. So it turns out they all have trample anyway. I guess I could have put it on him. Because it didn't say another creature. But I think in the end I am happy to put it on the big guy.
Yeah, just target creature you control. Yeah, so it could be that.
It could be, for 3 mana, it could be a 3/2 with trample. You know what? I'm okay with
Stick
that.
with that? Okay.
Yeah. So I was thinking I was maybe going to put it on someone who I attack with. But then I'm like, I do want with him, so.
You are Hellbent as well, too, right?
I am Hellbent,
okay.
Yeah. And I'm tapped out
pre-combat.
pre-combat.
For 2.
So you know I'm not going to shenanigans on my Bushwag. So it might have made more sense to do things other way, obviously, because I didn't use that combat, counter on one of those guys, and he had summoning sickness, so it could have been done better, but it was done that way. To sum that up.
So I take 2. So I'm down to 17, which I've already taken.
Okay.
And then
pass 2.
Anything else you like to do? No. Okay.
No. I'm Hellbent here. And my cat's out. He's proud.
Pass the turn to you. This is so bad.
All right, go to combat.
Okay. So right now, 1, 2, 7,
I can activate
8, 9.
once,
Okay.
in theory.
Yeah. So 9 pre-damage, and then
No shenanigans.
is there going to be any shenanigans?
I'm going to, before we go to damage, I would like a priority pass to me.
Yeah, so I would pass the pass priority back to you.
I'm going to tap 4 to activate eeny, meeny, miny. This guy.
Okay, so now I'm taking 12.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Not right now, because I can't do it.
That puts me down to 5.
Post-combat, I'll tap 2 for the... That's 2 eyes, not an H with missing a crossbar. It's Elysian Carotid. He's a 1/1. We saw him before. You can tap for 1 mana, tap for 2 right now because I do control a creature with power 4 or greater. Over to you, sir.
Over to me. Okay, well, I don't have to untap anything.
See, now I'm really feeling a lot better about making that trade on the Harbinger because I thought that's going to come back to bite me. He's going to play another creature, do that thing, get a big flyer.
Right. So I'm going to pass turn to you.
Up to 3 target creatures get -1/-1 till end of turn. That would help you out a lot, actually.
Yeah. Damnation, is that in this deck? I'm
Language?
sure they would put that in there, so.
Not tapping for mana, it's going to combat and swinging right through.
Okay, so these both have trample, and that has trample as well, too.
Yeah.
These do not have trample, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to pay 3 to bring out Liliana Standardbearer, which we saw before. So it is a 3 power, 2 toughness creature with flash. So that's 5 right there. 6, 7. I mean, I don't think there's any way this really works for me in the end, but we'll see. I will put...
You want to take that cat out. You know he's walking so proud up in your business. You gotta take it out.
I will... yeah, I will put this in front of that.
Okay.
And then pre-damage, I'm going to tap for 1 and cast Alchemist's Gift. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains your choice of Death Touch or Lifelink at the end of turn. So I'm going to give this Lifelink. I don't think this is going to matter. So it's now a 4/2 with Lifelink. So, pre-damage, anything you like to do?
I will tap 4 to pump the other guy.
Pump the other guy. Okay, so 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 damage is coming. Okay, no. Sorry, let me count this again. Okay. So 4, 5,
6, 7,
6, 7, 8.
8 is what's there. And
then 11, because this has got trample, correct?
Correct.
So then 3 of this damage is going to go through because this only has 2 toughness. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. So I'm going to take 10, but I'm going to gain 4 back, which is still 6. Yeah. So, Daniels, I just wanted to make sure the math was correct. Here's the card I had in my hand.
Forest or Swamp?
I had Gormand. 6 costs, so I had the mana to cast it, so it's not that I was mana screwed. It's a 5/5 demon creature. It's got flying, it's got trample. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature. But, as an additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice a creature. That's part of the reason why I was like,
I'm so glad.
Do I put the Scrounger in front of it? I put the Scrounger in front of it?
Well, you would have been in a lot more trouble if you didn't at that point, too.
Yeah.
Like, I had some lesser creatures to...
Yeah. So, that was the matchup. I think.
And green won it mostly on the vanilla. Just being green. Although the Harbinger was there and he did have hexproof, but I mean, I don't think he traded. Which, again, was probably a dumb move to trade with him because clearly I could have given him, or drew him later, but I could have given him trample and another counter.
Yeah.
But I wanted to keep up on the creatures so I could just keep attacking.
No, and I think you did. I mean, you were able to swarm the board with creatures, and that was the real undoing for me as well, too.
Being able to chip away with them without having to, without also being able to save mana to still cast creatures, because this is a nice ability, but you do that, and you've almost taken your turn. Yeah. You probably saved them from a flashed out thing, maybe you might have, but you've also taken the mana that could be used to bring something else. So having an empty board and being able to just, even with 2/1/1s, attack with
and
immunity for a bit there was kind of nice.
This is, I mean, it's great as well too, because even if I had blockers, put one in front of that, you pump the other one, or like, you know what I mean? So that gave you versatility as to where the extra damage was going to bleed through. Gormand, early on, I was like, I really hope I get to 6 land, because it'd be really unfortunate to not have enough land to cast this. And then there came a point where it's like, okay, I've got the land. I really want a creature now. I really want a creature. So, by that point, it was sort of a lost cause. Out of curiosity, because I know we do this, Unlikely Aid. Actually, Unlikely Aid would have left me with one life at the end of that if I would be able to cast that on top of that, give it life and that as well too. But yeah, still, I would have been in pretty dire straits. So
that feels pretty good, actually. I missed it this time. And
man, you being able to knock out the flyer early on.
It's tough sometimes when things don't give toughness boosts. I'm like, all the power in the world doesn't matter much when something can do 2 damage to it or whatever it did.
And weirdly enough, when I was looking through this deck before, the thing that I wasn't sort of like zeroing in on is the fact that so many of these creatures have low power. Yeah. Or toughness, I should say. Toughness. They got power, some of them, but low toughness.
Which against the trample deck, or a green deck in general, not going to go great.
And having black straight up removal, and you having at least one creature which has hexproof for black, that's why I like this matchup, because I thought it was a very flavorful matchup, and I also thought it was a good match between the decks. So, Garruk is going to advance to the next round of the 4th season of the Planeswalker Deck Showdown. He is going to be squaring off against, and at this point, you should have watched the match, but I'm telling you right now, fast forward like 10 seconds, because otherwise they're going to tell you who's going to win won the last match. But he is going to play Basari. So it's going to be Garruk versus Basari in the next round. And whoever wins that one is going to be squaring off against Teferi, who is getting a bye, because I don't think the blue deck this time out in the Planeswalker, in the core set Planeswalker decks, I don't think it's good.
I agree.
Yeah, so I wanted the better matchups to be first in the first rounds, so you guys could watch a couple of more interesting matches, I think, in the first couple rounds. But yeah, I mean, hey, I'd be happy to be surprised, because most likely I'm going to be the one playing Teferi. But
I looked at it, and I do agree, and I almost wonder if that's not in response to the fact that last year's Mono Planeswalker deck, Mu Yanling, at least in your little season there, turned out to be the most powerful Planeswalker deck.
You mean the current champion?
Yes.
The winner, the only one to defeat Nicol Bolas in our Battle of Champions?
Yes, that one.
That Mu Yanling are we talking about? Yes. As well, too, the winner of the 4th season of the Planeswalker Deck Showdown will be facing off against Mu Yanling to see who can reign supreme.
Would it be if it just turns out to be like mana flood on whoever wins the Garruk one, Teferi wins, so it's mono blue on mono blue.
I really hope if Teferi wins, I hope it's because his deck, I'm misjudging the power of the deck. If he wins because of mana screw, mana flood, oh, it's going to be so bad. He's still going to have to get through the other finalist on the other side of the 4th season. So there's still going to be another match after that because it is, I think Elspeth won that one. So I think Elspeth is currently the one who's going towards the finals. It's already been decided in the first half of the 4th season.
That's season 4?
That's season 4, yeah.
Confused.
Yeah, that's season 4. Because they came out with the last 2 sets of the Planeswalker deck, so we had them battle out and then go on to the next round. So Elspeth, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. There's gonna be a graphic because in editing I will have checked this. So there's a graphic showing you who's already advanced that far, and I'm pretty sure it's Elspeth. So yeah. So he'll still have to get through one of these, the winner of these ones, and these are really sort of like testing each other's mettle. So Teferi's gonna have to beat that one and then Elspeth. So chances are, if his deck is as weak as I haven't played with it yet, so I don't know for sure. But just based on the cards I saw, I think it's gonna be a fun deck to play because I get to draw a lot of cards. But it doesn't seem to do a whole lot other than that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll find out. Only time will tell.
See,
Travis.
Yes.
Anything you'd like to say?
Ram through. So I made the choice earlier on to play it with less value. Whenever I see a card that's built in double value, there's something in me that wants to hold out. I want to hold out for the trample, but I think not holding out is actually getting rid of that flyer early is really what did it.
Yeah.
Because, 5 through the air, no matter how much you want to trample through for 1 or 2 more damage, taking 5 through the air is just stupid traps. Because stupid traps.
And I was not blocking with that creature. Once I gave that creature flying, I was not blocking with it at all. I might have sacrificed it if I was able to get Gore, whatever his name was, out at some point, and then I could have then spent a couple extra life in order to get it on there again. But no, I was not going to block with that guy. So as soon as he got flying, because I think there's nothing in there that can deal with flying. So
probably not. Green has that, but that's like a rare special ability. But I'm just saying, you know better than me. Don't hold out for the value as much as you want that trample value.
Sometimes it's so easy to get
1
greedy.
or 2 extra damage.
It's so easy to get greedy and be like, no, I want that squeeze out the little bit of extra value.
2 more turns, I can give it trample, and then that'll affect it. Or you can take care of the 5 flying damage. It would have been 10 more damage over 2 turns.
Yeah, you were at that point. You were on a 3-turn clock. So yeah.
And that was the only removal I had.
No, that was key. I think that was key. If you didn't have that, I think it could have possibly gone to a third game. So, but sadly for me, it didn't. Anyways, Travis, thank you again for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it, and we will see you guys in the next video.